addiction to cocaine. And I decided to spend the next 50 years doing what my mama told me to do, which was to find a way to reconnect our human family around the world. So that's very important for you that may know Martin Luther King. It was on his assassination, April 4th, 1968, that I was first called a nigger in a place, Macon, Georgia, by a woman who I've been buying my comic books and newspapers from for over 5 years. I've been reading kind of early. She told me to stop talking so proper and stop reading so much, or I'd end up dead like the nigger king. I had no clue what that meant. But I asked my mother about it, and she chastised the woman. She told me that even though I was born in Macon, Georgia, my lineage really is traced back to Africa, to the place where all people originate from, and that we're all one family. And so that I couldn't let one person's bias towards me affect my life. And she went on to tell me that I'm really connected to all those people through my bloodline. So my intent, she told me to first survive, then find a way to reconnect our human family. So in 2008, that's what I did. I dedicated the time from then until now of building a global footprint around the world for Andrew Williams Jr. Not for me trying to impose my views on the rest of the world, but trying to promote the causes I care about and using technology to do that. So you'll find that in 2009, I was one of the first Facebook ambassadors. And I do have a Facebook page, the Honorable Andrew Williams Jr. But it was also in 2009 that I became a member of a think tank. It's called Global Business Incubation. Technically, I was first introduced to them in 2000, but in 2009, as a result of my efforts, they appointed me as what's called the Zero Time Solutions Facilitator. And they introduced me to Corin Smith in Bermuda, who was a know-how officer. So together, he and I from Bermuda and America have been collaborating on ways that we could find ways to impact the global African diaspora. What you may or may not know is that Bermuda is the closest landmass to what's called our Ma'afa, or a Holocaust, where there are millions of Africans that were either thrown over or jumped off the boats on the way to slavery. But Bermuda is that closest landmass to where all those souls were. I had the opportunity to visit Bermuda. I spent a year there, and I felt the power of our ancestors there living and breathing as I was living and breathing. And so that's what led me to where we are today. Corin Smith and I have collaborated together through a think tank. It's called the Sanctum Think Tank in Bermuda. At that time, addressing issues on the island, which unfortunately has the highest per capita income in the world, but also has a need for their youth to be involved with the rest of the world. So that's what brings me here today, William. When you say take a moment,
yeah, you did. You good? No, you're good. You're good. All right, thank you, sir. Thanks for being here, Ms. Selby. You want to go give a brief introduction of White STEM Innovation, and then Christiana, and then we'll get started.
All right, sure. Hi. Good morning, everyone. I am Yvette Selby. I am a resident of DC. I've lived here for close to 30 years. However, I'm from Michigan, Jackson, Michigan. And I am a chemical and environmental engineer by training. I recently retired from the Environmental Protection Agency to do the work that is in my heart. So I started on White STEM Innovation. And it is a nonprofit that's set up to help organizations, schools, parents, kids with STEM programming, program development, implementation, evaluation, and training. So within this last year, I've partnered with A-STEAM Village, yay, on a couple of things, but primarily the stadium Build Design Challenge. Also going to be doing some support for STEM Saturdays, I'm in the process of training like several student interns. Well, just starting that process, but getting them trained up so they can start to deliver some of the programming that we've developed. Let's see. This is my passion. My passion is to help others. My passion is to encourage and build our people, our students, to see themselves as STEM professionals, to see themselves as creators, innovators, confidence builders, and to also be able to solve problems in our community. And so everything we do is focused on culture, community, and collaboration and cooperation. So working together to really impact where we are living and impact the world. So that is my spiel. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you. Go ahead, Christiana.
Hi everyone, and good afternoon from Accra, Ghana. Christiana, and I work as IT support, and also I'm the co-founder of Seed Afrique. So Seed Afrique is into STEM, sports, and educational travels. We started somewhere before the pandemic, and then we became a full force after the pandemic when school was not really in session and everywhere was just quiet. So our goal is to introduce K to 12 students to STEM and sports, and also to take them on educational travels in Ghana and also outside Ghana, especially in East Africa. We also provide volunteers to organizations that need support when it comes to programming in either STEM or sports. So, yeah, thank you and nice to meet all of you.
All right. Hey, thank you, Christiana. Christiana spent her and Billy Dega, the other co-founder, they're expecting a child. So Christiana, thank you for being here abruptly as well. I have one other person that's joining us from Silicon Valley that Matt, I had to call an audible. I've explained why. Just kind of hang with me, bear with me. This is a call to action for everybody. And so if you want to real briefly tell who you are. Matt goes back with Andrew. We've all known each other and worked for forever, worked with each other for at least 14 years. So Matt, go ahead, introduce yourself real quick. Your organization.
The company's AIX network. We evolved from Easy Expound, many other platforms that we have done in the past. We're in a new world in the AI revolution. So the purpose of AIX network is about helping small, medium-sized companies, startups to get on this AI bandwagon. So we call this as an AI superhighway. We had the internet highway, now with the AI superhighway. So the purpose of my company is providing both the training, AI bootcamp. We started last fall, AI agency camp, and also the AI tools, we call the AI super apps that we can help every small, medium-sized company, nonprofits, and all to take advantage of these opportunities. So more to come. We look forward to collaborating with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you for being here. And so that you guys know, in person, we have our Nesby Junior chapter students, and we have the Show Me seniors, and we have invited a lot of our Show Me seniors on this call as well. The call is being recorded. This is a call to action. I'm going to ask everybody to bear with me. I felt that it was necessary and it was important for me to put on the table what we are working for the next, from April through August, and everybody in here is a part of it. So my 1080 students, Marzell, you and Coach Sim, I text you guys a plan, a schedule that gets you through your May 9th RC car challenge. Are you okay with that? If you're muted, can you unmute so I can hear you? Where you got, did that look good to you guys? Tayden?
Hold on one second.
I mean, I just need them to say yes or no. I mean, just if they're good with it, with that schedule I sent, if they even saw it. All right. Well, what we're here for, I'm going to keep it moving. What we're here for is to focus on the work and STEM City and AI, the projects. And this is locally, but I also needed Bermuda, I needed Aquagana, I needed Yvette in Washington, D.C., and Andrew in LA. All of you who are going to be interfacing with us to understand what we're going to be working on, but more importantly, the why. What is the big picture? And we were supposed to start the AI boot camp today. We're going to start that next Saturday because I felt that this was the important part. And I'm probably not answering calls now because I'm here presenting with you. So there may be somebody at the door trying to get in if somebody's down there letting them in. I'm go by this slide. Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase, and which is what we've been doing, which is what Sim and our Vistas and a lot of you have been doing. I'm going to try to show you the staircase. Marzell, to a certain extent, Alexandria, to a certain extent, with you guys being in our program for all that time. Hold on one second, everybody. I'm sorry. Let me turn my ringer off. All right. So with you guys being in our program, Marzell graduating next month, Alexandria next year, you've been walking on a staircase with us and hope and kind of thinking that we're going to help you to become what you want to do. So I'm going to try to show everybody this staircase. And I'm going to do it through a few videos. And so the first video is this one.
After the world that's no longer exists, picture me with no filter. Picture we see a rainbow as evidence that the storm was only meant to wash away the hurt, certainly not destroy. Picture the shoes and quote, let's travel to back. Picture stand up on top of hill, checking your brilliance. Picture we started over, slowly became what like children. Picture me as the tadpole started off as a frog. Picture me as the channel that started off as a club. Picture me as the whisper that started off as a yell. Picture a movie offspring heaven on the big hill. Like, picture that, scripture that. Picture that when your sister from Sister Rag that gave us the miseducation found those who missed the map and gave hope just one hope. Picture that extra lag. If I can't, I can make the link. Help me to me with a ruby that's redder than cherry stems. Picture me with a ground full of herbs that sing him. Picture counterfacts. Picture even with your voice trembling, speaking up. Picture dropping a lamp for all of those who reaching up. Picture every time we're searching for answers, we thinking up. Picture everything upon it, conjoined in a form of fist. Picture every time you pray to heaven, gladly forms the list. Picture where they carry you, Jamaican patties, but over kisses. Picture gravity wasn't a fact, and I picture me lifted. Picture skies, picture trees. Picture too many flowers, too many leaves. Picture you and me for hours, doing whatever we please. Picture giving self-love, demon and it feels late. Inside out. Yes. Picture me glowing, picture my intuition guiding me, picture me knowing, picture me dripping, picture me giving, picture me showing, picture me 96 and dipping, I picture me rolling, picture me in a double, no switches and pinning corners, picture me in a white tee riding in California, picture me with a queen that's playing a violin, picture little kids looking at me like I am him, picture dirty hands and soil planting to feed the future, picture me so fresh, so clean, cleaner than picture teaching a class, picture me as a doctor, I'm saying, tengo la cura. Picture me supernatural earth, tip of the hookah. Picture me living much better than great. I'm living so. Just like that. Right. Like that, right?
So I show that video because every one of those senior citizens that had a certificate has a computer. Every one of those senior citizens with the computer, they have a tool. We have to galvanize and mobilize and put those tools and put those resources to work. And that is really the why. So now I'm going into, I told you all, we want to redefine at the end of August what education is. And I'm basing that on this upper left quadrant. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. And so with that being said, if you looked in that video that showed those seniors taking notes, writing, learning, they were trying to retool themselves so that they can live in a digital world. If they can do that after working and retiring and at 70 and 80, certainly we can do that at 15, 20, 27, 25. The next thing, we need to start thinking deeply. Rarely do we find men who willingly engage in hard, solid thinking. There is almost a universal quest for easy answers and half-baked solutions. Nothing pains some people more than having to think. Another Dr. King quote, now that we have AI is, some people are saying, now that I have AI, I need to think less. That's not the case. Now that you have AI, you have to think more. You have to think harder. You have to think deeper. You have to think broader. You have to think and work at thinking, right? And so I'm going to this last slide because all of us are here. We're in not the best of times. We're in a time of digital transformation. But these times and our past doesn't define us. So the ultimate measure of a man is not where we stand today in these moments. I mean, not where we stand in moments of comfort and convenience, but where we stand at times of challenge and controversy. And I am issuing a challenge, a call to action, a plea. This is me putting all my chips on the table, and all of my chips on the table are on you. Because ultimately we have a question to decide that we have to answer individually, each as a person individually, as an advanced manufacturing facility that each of us are. Will you be a consumer, which is negative dollars, or a producer adding dollars? Which side of the data center will your skills and your life's earning income happen? That doesn't matter if you're in elementary school, middle school, high school. I know I'm in elementary school, I'm not making money. Yes, you are. If you're going to school, if you learn, that's currency. If you learn, that's currency. I understand that me, William Wells, I am a file. Every phone call I make, every computer I touch, every meeting that I have, every meeting that I record, every PowerPoint presentation that I do in Microsoft Teams, it is all going, it's me putting my thoughts into a machine that is learning me. And it can take all of that and analyze me. Now, am I going to take those skills and that understanding and say, I need to live on the inside of the data center, building apps, doing cybersecurity, or promoting or selling, whatever it is, creating, telling stories, making raps, playing music, making music, whatever I do? Am I going to be able to do it in the physical world and then have the ability to translate it and move it globally in a digital world? At the end of the day, that's what workforce is supposed to be doing. At the end of the day, that's what education is supposed to be doing. And at the end of the day, that's what I've been trying to get us to do all along. But again, I'm going to try to show us the staircase. Next video. Now, I'm in this video. My name is Token. I am Token. I have met a few of the other people in this video, but we didn't sit around a table, talk about this initiative. No, come to this place, 15 minutes, shoot this 2-minute clip. You can say your own. Well, no, they did give me what they wanted to say. I said, no, I'm going to tell you what I want to say because that's just how I am. And I did it in one take. And the guy said, well, you didn't. I said, no, because I don't have to rehearse what I believe. And I'm just telling you what I believe. But they showed this at a big gathering where I met Jay Gura, who I asked to come there today. I hope he's there. If he's not, he'll see this. He said he was going to try to come. Jay sustained Esteem Village and me through the darkest times we had in 2024, 2025. I met Jay when they premiered this movie. Jay for the first time, but who Jay's former co-partner is, who's retired, has been a mentor. Jay's a mentor of mine. So let me just get on and play this. Again, my name in this video is Token.
It's an ambitious and forward-thinking of Kansas City. This plan intentionally aligns with the KC Boys' shared vision. Together, they create and Kansas City's entrepreneurial ecosystem continues to grow and thrive. Casey Rise Fund expanded investment in small business. Now, the corporate and banking communities working together toward a shared vision, the more successful will. Structural racism. 11 weeks doing business with diverse suppliers. Initiatives like the CEO Challenge are just one tool to change our community for the better. Will you commit to being more intentional with purchasing from small and diverse businesses? We aim to increase debt capital to younger, smaller, more diverse firms. We are committed to change race and gender-based assumptions or biases toward loan origination and underwriting processes. I started the object. Those things have been paused for almost 3 years. The funds from AllCap helped cover expenses during the disruption and a chapter of growth, not just my business survival. Real world long-term investment to grow talent in KC that pays off today and tomorrow. Last year, 38% of high school seniors completed immersive experiences. Every student needs these opportunities. At scale, that means 83,000 students working to solve all kinds of problems, making connections across KC. That I really wanted to do this particular externship was because I have so many students who will start taking my engineering classes, and as they start to learn more what engineering is, they're like, maybe this isn't for me. And they're like, I really love this part of it. Gamut of opportunities from technician to engineer and everything in between, not to mention all of the economy thrives through increased participation. Inclusion creates a strong community. True inclusion invests potential for the present. Back to design for hometown center, entrepreneurial experiences for high school students.
So that video shows where the investment is happening. Esteem Village was not a part of any of those investments. So we created our own solution. But let me show you the story. Forgive the French. I think this is a version, but hear the message.
Huh? I'm a young black man doing all that I can to stand. Oh, but when I look around and I see what's being done to my kind, every day I'm being hard to this prey. My people don't want no trouble. We got enough struggle. I just wanna live. God protect me. I just wanna live. I just wanna live.
Introduction. Hi, this is Natiki Hope Presley. This book is about neither race nor politics, inequality nor revolt. Although race and politics are the backdrop, this book is about freedom. Over 50 years ago, when my father, Sam Greenlee Jr., wrote The Spook Who Sat by the Door, some critics chose to see his book as simply an outline plan to educate and train youth gang members in Chicago to violently overthrow the city. They overlooked the meticulous intentionality of Spook's main character, Dan Freeman, a man on a mission to quench his thirst for freedom and justice. Freeman lawfully infiltrated the CIA through an affirmative action recruitment program designed by a failing politician who sought to win back the Black vote. A political ploy, Dan successfully completed the program and gained field experience, but was assigned to serve as the copy boy. He's kept in a non-threatening position, void of authority and dignity. Dan's true motivation for joining the CIA was to use what he learned to empower his community and serve a purpose greater than upward mobility. The noted Spook became ridiculed and endured blatant racism to work towards his ultimate goal. There are those who would vilify Dan Freeman's character, calling him a troublemaker, rabble-rouser, an angry Black man, a disgrace to our race, or just too aggressive and extreme. It is easy to see him as the antagonist in an American fairy tale, but I propose seeing Dan as a victim of two of America's greatest tragedies, inequality and injustice. Many, Dan earned a merit-based promotion. He successfully completed the CIA training program with all its rigor. He went from being a young man living in inner-city Chicago to a CIA agent, but because he's a Black man, he would never earn the respect the position garners or experience the full benefits of his achievement. Dan determined it more expedient to use his access to the, quote, system as a weapon against it. His tactics in this book may seem overzealous and dangerous. The essence of his intent should not be ignored. Growing up Black and poor in the inner city has a significant impact on societal perspective. The synthesis of pain and power drive Dan Freeman to extreme measures with unbridled passion. Honestly, when we look in the mirror, many of us can see parts of Dan glaring back. The message is very clear for him. The fight against the system of racism requires an indirect approach, an impeccably designed covert operation. Freeman, the Spook, is a freedom fighter who deliberately puts himself in the center of every battle. Quote, spooking, as my family and I frame it, is just that, working from the inside out. Around the time of World War II, white soldiers often referred to their Black counterparts as, quote, spooks. And later the term also referred to spies, yes, maneuvers. This double entendre represents the duplicity of Freeman's existence. The Black man attempting to excel in a predominantly white career on purpose, whose intention is to overthrow an entire city by establishing and training inner city youth guerrilla militia. This kind of duplicity is not unique to Dan Freeman. I believe all people of color in America adopt it, in some measure, to survive. It is challenging to build successful families and careers while also being reminded constantly by politicians, judges, and police officers that your Black life doesn't really matter. This is just one reason for the incredible frustration and unrest. Black and brown people in this country work hard to navigate and participate in a predominantly white society, but also desperately seek a profound way to express and celebrate their own culture and heritage. It's a social merry-go-round, and the inconsistency is dizzying. This American experience is immensely disproportionate, riddled with injustice and hypocrisy that somehow survives from generation to generation. The American experience of freedom has often been predicated on mandate, policy, or legislation. Even the quote, freedom to choose awaited legislation. The mere fact that freedom must be given implies that freedom is not intrinsic. We are not, quote, born free. Our grade school education taught us that freedom exists through a governmental act. Primary education delivered an early message that we were, quote, free to do whatever our teacher told us to do. Follow instructions and leave only when the bell rings. There was no particular lesson on personal freedom or on the liberation of the mind and soul. Only lessons on physical freedom were worthy of attention. Education is intended to prepare people to exercise the quote, freedom to think and act independently. So why are we conditioned to relinquish our freedom in our formative years and then petition for it at the polls in our adult years? We are destined to remain slaves to a system of socio-political constructs that were cultivated in America. This is not to say that systems of social and political oppression were born in America, but they are certainly nurtured here. Freedom, like hope and love, cannot be legislated but must be definitively qualified by demonstration, some external manifestation of its reality. For example, when someone says they love you, while you appreciate the confession, you await an action to validate that statement. There is a reason the phrase, quote, random acts of kindness was coined and not, quote, random confessions of kindness. To describe one as, quote, kind means that person has demonstrated kindness in their activities. In other words, freedom, like kindness, has limits. We measure our freedom by experience, not presumption. Words like liberty, independence, and unrestrained usually accompany freedom. Yet people without obvious restraints or who have a semblance of independence still eagerly pursue freedom. Why? With an internal compass and a genuine desire for justice that guide them in the direction of true freedom. This book explores how Dan Freeman seeks out both. When my father wrote this book, it was a shadow of his own life, a personal revolt against racial injustice, police brutality, and economic disenfranchisement. Spook is his termination letter to institutional racism and a clarion call for true liberty and justice for all. This was his valiant effort to encourage our heroes in the fight for social change and a willful discharge from the societal disease caused by the undeniable promotion of and injustice in America. And what they're willing to do to get it.
So, Project 2026, the Esteemed Village and Vision Centers. I want to skip past that video. All right. So the technology infrastructure platform are you, the people, our senior citizens, our K through 12 NSBE, our coaches, and our mentors. So we are going to talk about how we are going to take all of this and put it together and basically tell our own story and put ourselves in a position of self-efficacy and everybody be able to deliver something to the community through our projects that we're going to do. So let me jump through the apps, the people. That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry. The people, you are the operating system. I don't know why that slide's not showing, but basically the operating system are the people. The apps are the programs. The programs are Show Me Seniors Digital Village, our Red Tails Tech Force Workforce Initiative, our FIFA Entrepreneurship Sprint, which is where we're focusing a lot of our attention, and then our 2 free programs for our our 6th through 12th grade students, the spring training, the Stadium Design Challenge, which Accra and YSTEM is doing, and then the Cisco Cyber Games, which is free for anybody. Christiana, Yvette, Andrew, I think Darrell is joined from Bermuda. You guys are welcome to click on that link and sign up. Kids, they can go in and do that free, no problem. So what we're looking at, we are an integrated community-driven STEM workforce and digital economy ecosystem designed to turn access into agency across generations. That's why I'm calling it intergenerational. Rather than operating disconnected programs, which I've showed you 4 programs that are not disconnected, they're intentionally interconnected. We do that intentionally to link education, credentialing, real world practice, and economic participation so that learners move from early exposure to lived opportunity. You saw that in that video I just showed of the KC Rising and all of this other stuff, except all of that is simulations. The only people that are making any money are the people running the programs, having the programs, or selling whatever apps that the program says we want to utilize. We've created everything that we've done from scratch. Everything that we're delivering, we own. Everything that we have is on our servers, on our domain, and it allows us in real time to make adjustments. Like, I forgot the church had the service and we were not supposed to be downstairs. Sim let me know. I created a domain, calltoaction.esteemvillage.org, linked it to this meeting, got it out to everybody so people could join remotely. As Sim made an adjustment and your team made an adjustment and moved up to the library. So this is a differentiate. The video before shows simulations. What I'm proposing is what we call learn to earn. Live, real practices, real projects, real contracts, real returns for delivering those projects and delivering on those contracts. But we also need to train all of you and teach all of us. And not only do we have to develop our skills, but we have to identify what talents. There are some seniors that are retired that I know that were in the accounting, that were in human resources, that were in merchandising, that were foremans on the assembly line. All of those are skills and talents that we're going to need for this real world practice. That's why it has to be intergenerational. And more importantly, we're no longer going to be standing with our palms up or with our tennis shoes on chasing grants. Instead, we're going to take the resources and talent that we have, which is all of us, and we're going to learn together, and we're going to create our own, and we're going to develop our own, and then we're going to expand. And our own is not tied to one particular demographic, zip code, area code, or race. It is like whoever wants to come and do things this way, which we believe is the right way. And it provides a better return for all of those involved because we're looking at each other as a village and we're moving as a village, not as individuals, not as cowboys. All right, the organizations work. In that we captured, we sent out and let everybody know that we have a poverty manifesto to use the World Cup Entrepreneurship Sprint to change our system, change this, become self-sufficient. Systems change happens when communities own talent pipelines, digital infrastructure, and pathways to revenue, not just training. So that's what this is all about. Does that make sense? and I'll pause here and ask anybody to speak. Maybe I've spoken too long before I go through. I'm on slide 16 or 22, so I'm almost done, but I will pause and ask if there's any questions or any comments. Am I still in the meeting?
Yes, thank you so much for the clarification. And I'm committed myself to do what I can to share the free services to you. Thank you.
Okay, there was another question, comment. Thank you, Andrew. No? Okay. All right, I'm going to jump on. So the output, what are we trying to do? We're trying to the disruption of poverty by applying STEM across the entire ecosystem. And when I say ecosystem, I'm saying K through 12 STEM, adult workforce, senior digital fluency, and connecting all of them together and stand them all on top of one simple commitment that we are going to live both in our community outside, and we're going to be able to take what we're doing in our physical community and bring it inside the data center, and we will exchange it with our network partners in Accra, Ghana, our network partners in Washington, D.C., our network partners in Bermuda, LA, Milwaukee, and then we will create a network that is then moving resources of data that is created, controlled, and owned by each individual network. Kansas City is a network. There are several networks within Kansas City that do not have to lose the autonomy of them being their network by connecting to our network. They don't lose autonomy. All they do is expand their networks, if that makes sense. So I wrote a manifesto. I'll send it to everybody. I don't want to touch on it. This is for another presentation I have to do, but the case studies. The initiatives are mapped to 4 pillars: education, economic access, health and wellness, character, and leadership, and showing how coordinated design can create measurable outcomes in education, employment, entrepreneurship, and civic participation. The case studies, system diagrams, and my journey are documented in this book, but it is also the roadmap of what we are trying to get done on a global scale by basically saying Andrew's doing great work, Darrell's doing great work, Yvette's doing great work, See That Freak's doing great work. All of that great work that they're doing within their communities can be digitized and shared. And by sharing, they may find that Andrew may find that he has a new partner in a lower price to get a widget that he needs on his supply chain to produce whatever his widget is that he's promoting. But he wouldn't know that if he wasn't connected to those other networks. We wouldn't know that if we weren't talking to each other. And that's where the AIX networks, the boot camps, the programming, us partnering, talking, that's where we create and raise our own value, because we are communicating and doing so with each other. And we're not going through the conduits of other networks that have algorithms, that have servers, that have all of this stuff that we don't control. And if they ever decide to shut down, like Iran, they said, we don't want you to have internet. We got issues, and they shut it down. So everybody had to go black market to get their internet. Same thing can happen to any of us at any time. They just had a big vote about data and accessing data. And everybody that knows me says, hey, we need to own our data. We need to protect our data. And what we were trying to do in 2021 that the city officials and the think tanks locally decided against was, we said that every community needs to build their own data center to house its own servers so they can provide their own network security, and then they can be like the Steam Village, which we originate our own data, we originate and terminate our own phone, our own voice, and we originate and terminate our own video. all of those things combined are a digital meeting like this, a presentation like this, a service that we sell, that we're going to sell for the entrepreneurship sprint, that we were able to bundle together. We had a hamburger, but we're going to add cheese for unlimited global internet, and we're going to add some special sauce for our digital dashboard and our community television network, and we're going to make that available for a price. But we're going to all go through that entire life cycle of that process so that we can learn it, because I went to school, 12 years college. Nobody taught me how to take something from scratch and make it go to the work. Go to the store, to the shelf, so that it can be purchased, consumed, and I can take care of myself and my family. Nobody showed me how to do that from scratch. And if nobody has ever showed us how to do that from scratch, then that means that we're being conditioned to not lead and be our own. We're being conditioned to fill roles. But the problem is this: we're either going to work with machine by adopting computer language, or we're going to work for machine. So that's what I was saying. We own and originate all of our data. That's our product that we're going to do our entrepreneurship sprint on. And the document outlines, and we have a document that this is going to be a time-bound workforce and entrepreneurship initiative designed to enable local communities to participate directly in the global digital economy during the FIFA World Cup. FIFA World Cup. Again, this initiative is designed to enable local communities. Our community, Seattle has signed up. Hopefully DC is going to sign up. Accra, they're sending a team to the Americas so they can start promoting it there. And if they do, everything they sell goes into their pockets. Yes, they get it discounted from us. We set them up as a distributor. But again, what we've done is created a product, made it replicable, so that we could give it to our partners and our allies and our youth organizations, our community serving organizations, so they can then offer it to their networks and generate revenue for their programs. We are the AT&T, we are the Spectrum, we are the Roadrunner. I need, if I do anything well at the end of this summer, you guys are going to be thinking, what do I need to become? What do I want to do that I can take what I've learned from April to August and apply to do? And whether it's going to college, whether it's starting a business, whether it's going to college and starting a business, whether it's like, okay, I want to make sure I go to college, but I don't want to pay for college. And I know I'm not going to get a lot of my scholarship money. So what can I do over here to pay for my college? And once my college is paid for, whatever I'm doing over here to pay for my college then becomes direct revenue to me. That's a different mindset. So what is this challenge going to be? It's going to be a live deployment. This is not a simulation. The sprint operates as a learning to earning model where youth, seniors, interns, and community volunteers work together on real commercial operations, including onboarding, point of sale deployment, inventory management, order fulfillment, and customer support. Rather than simulated learning, we are going to engage across the full product life cycle, gaining hands-on experience in technology operations, logistics, sales, marketing, and customer engagement tied to an active global event. At the end of this, in August, all of you will have picked up and you've done it once. And once you've done it once, success or fail. I didn't say this was going to be successful. The people in the team that we make and the plans that we make is going to determine the outcome. We're all learning together. But either way, at the end of August, we will have gone through this if we've done it with fidelity, and success or fail, hit our numbers or don't hit our numbers, everybody that's participated will have gone through this. And they will know, okay, I did it once. This is why it failed. I'm going to do it differently this time. or this is why it succeeded, but I think it could be better. So I'm going to do it that way, but I'm going to add this to it. That's innovation. Structured across 3 phases, foundation and market priming, which we should be doing now in April, the last part of April, the first part of May. Deployment and distribution, which would be May, last part of May, June, and July. Full operations and support, which would be May, June, and July. The sprint also functions as a centralized back-end engine for our wholesale distributors across the World Cup host cities, which we have 3 under contract: Milwaukee, Seattle. I know Milwaukee is probably focusing on Chicago. So all of this is ongoing. So I thank those of you seniors who have already completed your first digital awareness badge, and the Red Tails that have completed your Cisco Network Academy badge, because we have a next step, and that is the AI business that some of the people have moved on to. So Devontae, thank you as a Red Tails Tech Force for completing that and moving forward. All of that stuff that we're doing now, it actually does impact this real time-bound workforce entrepreneurship initiative. The problem is that we're taking a blank piece of paper and saying, if we all do this on the front end, then we can earn this on the back end, and what we earn on the back end will split up. So that's the volunteer part. That's the, like, do I believe and take this first step? Because there's no staircase for the rest of this. But if we are all taking the steps, we can make the staircase become visible. So full operations and support, May, back-end distributors, standardizing workflows, reducing friction for partners, ensuring consistent customer experience at scale while being trained, intergenerational workforce capable of supporting large multi-city deployments. This is the first time it's been done. It is different. Nobody else. There's no other funded program globally that's doing what we're doing here. This is ours from scratch. They'll probably see the video and try to replicate it. That's fine. We care about us. We don't worry about what anybody else is doing. I care about each of you. I care about me. I care about my city. I care about my partners. I care about just justice for all and everybody having the right to participate in a digital economy. So overall, the initiative will position Esteem Village, our partners, and Ace Digital Connect Global as platforms for converting global events into local economic opportunity, workforce readiness, and replicable digital economy infrastructure that can extend beyond the World Cup. What we do from April until August, at the end of it, not only should everybody make some money, but everybody should have the skills to then be able to go and say, all right, I want to take this idea off the shelf, put it through this process so I can get it to market. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, this is the last video. Please listen to the message, because this is my call to action. Just for us to agree to build together, have fun, do the work when the work needs to be done. Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's looking. If I tell Alexandria that I'm going to have this project done by Wednesday when we meet, have it done by Wednesday when we meet. Don't wait till Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning to do it. Do a little bit on Sunday, a little bit on Monday, a little bit on Tuesday, so it's done. And then when it's done, you can look through and see how it's done. Are there improvements or edits need to be done, as opposed to, whew, I just got it done in time, here it is, and I didn't proofread my work. We're trying to establish habits. We're trying to redirect mindsets, and we're trying to do something that nobody's ever done. And I'm telling you that everybody that I've engaged in the past 14 years that Esteem Village has been operating has the benefit, the talent to do this, and a lot of them have done it, and a lot of them are in the military, running their own business, working in the C-suite somewhere, and so I believe this works. And now it's like we're going to work it and we're going to scale it ourselves because we own it ourselves. Hope it matters. Listen to this. It's my last video. I'll let you guys go. It's 10:30. We'll pause for quick questions and then we'll adjourn. And then you guys can go through your day at Esteem Village. Uh-oh, sorry.
Black men in this culture and society get framed, and how everything possible is actually designed to actually diminish. So when you speak about the superhero-ness of our communities, every ghetto, every block, every street corner, really all of those men are God. They're just living in a reality that tears them down and makes them feel it.
So I've got a call to action to my Kansas City people, my seniors, my young people. I've got a call to action for you guys to galvanize, and let's make this next 4 months, April through August, amazing. And you do your best on that 1080 too, because we want to have fun. See that freak, Darrell, Andrew, Matt. I'm hoping that I thank you all for coming last second. Matt, we get started next Saturday. You and I will meet on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to tighten up how we're going to go through the AI Expo. But I hope everybody understands what Esteemed Village is about, what we're trying to accomplish. I hope that the message reaches and the vision hits, and I will pause and start with Christiana, go to Darrell, Andrew, and then Sim. We'll go. And I'll let them go because they got work they want to get done. So Christiana, any comments, anything you want to say? You're muted. See that freak? No? Okay. Matt? Oh, there she goes. Yep. We can hear you.
Yes, thanks for a great introduction. I think we're in the new environment. We call it collaborative intelligence. It's not one company, it's not one individual, but many to many. What we see the opportunities is the converting all the silos, like you mentioned, to a collaborative ecosystem so that we can help drive referrals that will save tons of money on online ads and also drive sharing knowledge. And that's exactly why we need to connect all the dots. And then last piece is the recruiting, right? So when everyone's in the ecosystem, we can do all the above and save 40 to 60% of operation costs. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Christiana, did you get your mic working? No? Okay. Andrew, comment quick. I know you can.
Thank you. The right place, the right time.
Okay. Darrell?
I'm just glad I caught this at the last minute, William. I'm just processing everything in terms of what's going on in my world on a global footprint. So, yeah, just in the middle of, I process slow when it comes down to framing things, particularly on a global level, but that's a good thing. It typically allows for a collaborative process to really organically move like it's supposed to. So, thanks for being in the room.
All right.
Just want to mention that, the market potential, we talk about $1 trillion. Okay, so both from the online ad and also the SaaS application. So this is a $1 trillion on the table,
But
even before AI.
yeah, thanks, Matt. But to my team in Kansas City, the only thing we have on the table right now is each other, a blank piece of paper, and 2 contracts that we're expecting to get signed this week. And when they get signed, we'll work on those. But that blank piece of paper and our digital connect, that's our product that we have, that we can work on and that we can focus on. So let's focus on getting that first penny. Forget the trillion. Let's get the first penny and get that blank piece of paper into a system or systems that allow us to get to that first penny. Miss Karen, you have any comment as representing our Show Me seniors? I don't know how many of them are in the building, but you have any comment? You unmute. I'm really banking on you in Vance as AIX alumni. You went through the first one, so we're really banking on you guys, and thank you for being here. Sim, Tayden, can you guys come off mute and just anything you guys want to say? And I just need to know if everybody there, who's there, first of all, who's there, and those that are there, what are you guys' thoughts? You're off mute.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions they want to ask?
We don't have any questions. Is there anyone with any concerns? Seems pretty straightforward, correct?
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Who all's in the room? Who all's in the room, by the way?
Miss Crawford.
Hey, Miss Crawford. Hey, Miss Doyle. And who else?
The Nesby Junior group, and then one of the parents, and then just myself.
Okay,
we are missing a few people, but
okay, what parent? Who's that brother in the jacket there with the glasses? Yes, sir, Tony. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming. Can you please tell them what you saw at KCIC? And introduce yourself and tell people who you work for.
Secure campus, separate a bunch of volunteers who work next to the KCIC, Kansas City Invention Convention. We saw a bunch of kids with a bunch of different things there, presenting that they see many kids from the inner city, which is what Carrie and I was discussing. But it was still just overall good event. Bunch of kids with a bunch of ideas that they were ready to get out. We both just disappointed that there wasn't much urban representation. Probably 2 schools out of the city were there, St. Francis. They were both private schools, St. Francis, and I think it was Rockhurst.
Yeah, I think that was the other one, and one of them came from like Marshall, I believe. They had another team. So who is that with the glasses and the blue jacket there next to you, Miss Doyle? Oh, that's your son? Oh, okay. How you doing? Can you introduce yourself, young man? Okay. Where you go to school? Oh, okay. So Lincoln College Prep. So there's a lady that's there that I met at KCIC as well that said that they were looking for where they could work in the community. And since we're at the bottom of the hill, I think they were going to come down. Mr. Kelly, just you work at the Nuclear Security Campus. What you saw me present to them was it's not traditional. We're not a school, but I try to keep it real, and I'm trying to keep it so that they understand what we're trying to get done. So this is a good time to smack my hand, or a good time to discipline me, or say, hey, I see something there, or I would do this a little differently. I'm just hoping that I can keep you there to work with these young people.
Exposing other parents about to burn their children, just to see what you were talking about.
Okay, Dante. How about you, Devontae?
I think we already know what the plan is. We know how to move forward. So all that's left is implement.
Okay, perfect. Miss Doyle.
Yes, sir.
What was your career? What did you do for your career?
I am a retired educator from Lincoln High School. I was also a Lincoln.
So, in history?
Yes, sir.
So, I'm going to ask you, because that's the skill set you have, and I'm going to ask you, there's a slot that we have, because we're about to do Underground Railroad storytelling. And I'm going to ask you to help us with some of the education and some of that, developing that project, which is a part of our project, if you're willing to do it. 3 hours a week. Huh?
On Wednesday, so yes, sir, I will be more than happy to do so.
Okay, perfect. Miss Crawford, what did you do before you retired?
I did different things.
What did you do that you like doing? What was your favorite job? Huh?
The city jail at night, dog watch.
All right. So, Miss Crawford.
Yes, sir.
Can I put you on our accountability committee?
I do volunteer also.
We just need a parliamentarian.
It just depends on where it is, days of the week and things like that, because I do volunteer for a plethora of things.
Okay, well, we'll find out what your availability is not, and then we'll work from there.
All right.
Okay, now who is that behind Devontae? Is that
Zaire?
Is that Zaire? What's up, Zaire? Hey, introduce yourself to everybody and tell them how you got here. Tell Miss Crawford and Miss Doyle and that gentleman in back of you how you got here.
So they
What are your thoughts about what you saw? That's okay. It's a slide, but hey, Mr. Book, is it Booker? Isn't it Booker? My guy in the back that works for Honeywell. I'm sorry, sir. Give me your name one more time. I'm writing it down. Yeah, Mr. Kelly. Okay, Tony. Tony, tell Zaire he works for you at the nuclear plant out in, and he said he's late. What you gonna do with him? Yeah, he showed up late for. Ah! All right. Okay. So we gonna make one of our goals by the end of July that we gonna not move by the sun. We gonna get us a time and schedule. That worked. Who else is in there? Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just other than that, the Nashby group that we already had Amir as well.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys go ahead. We'll let you guys go and get started on your 1080 stuff. Devontae, did you get your next class?
Yeah, I started things.
Yeah, that's the next one, and then we'll go into AI because I have the Show Me Seniors there. All right, so go ahead, guys, and start working on your Gantt charts and everything. Okay. All right, and Mr. Kelly, just dive in. I will email you and show you what we have going on for the next week, and see if there's something you're interested in. Marzell, why don't you tell everybody about the RC cars that you guys are getting ready to do in the Nesby chapter? Mr. Kelly, are you a part of Nesby? Your son, is his son a part of Nesby? Your son. Are you planning to go to college?
Yeah.
$5 being at Lincoln College Prep. There's one of our students. He's over at U-Haul. He runs the their automotive conversion from gas to electric. Tony Gant, he graduated from Lincoln and left with $30,000 in scholarship money by paying $5 annually to be a part of NSBE, and then he went into the NSBE portal because they have scholarships that are listed now. And Marzell, you may want to talk to Mr. Kelly and his son about that. All right, well, I'll let you go. Sim, you guys got it?
Right. Sorry, can you repeat the question?
No, I said you guys got it from here. You guys got what you're going to work on afterwards. I went longer as usual. I'm sorry. But Mr. Kelly is here to see if he can help and volunteer. Devontae, you'll pivot and help them to with their team identity in the Gantt chart. Miss Crawford, Miss Doyle, thank you for coming. Amir, good morning. It's good to see you. Continue to do your work that you need to do to get until you get back over Sunday. Thank you, everybody. You guys have a good rest of your practice. All right. Amen. Yeah, that's why I told you that in the meeting that we would do it Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Right now, I'm working with my students. We're still going. All right. Yeah. All right. I'll call you back. I'm with my students, Matt.